So we have top pair here. We don't have much of a kicker, but I think ace 9 or higher would have raised us pre-flop. So I think we can feel pretty good about our aces. I wouldn't say draw was out of the question for him there. I guess he was just taking a stab at it. And this puts us well within range in chips of him. Again, we're going to be pretty unrelentless with this aggressive style, and hopefully we'll be able to take this game down without much of a problem. Pocket eights. That's a good hand for heads up. The blinds increase, which I believe is, I think it's good for me due to the fact that I'm playing a more aggressive style. And so if I'm making it 3 times the big blind to play for most of the hands, and then I'm taking down a good percentage of those hands pre-flop, post-flop, the bigger the pots, the better in my eyes. And so he is also coming out of his shell a little bit though, and raising pre-flop as opposed to limping a lot, which is what he had been doing. And that's not going to really stop us from applying pressure to him. But we're not really getting a lot of good hands in the big blind, so we're not being able to call his raises and see what he's doing. I'm gonna min bet here. And we take it down. And this is a lot of what heads up play is. It's just raising pre-flop, taking stuff down post-flop with or without a hand. Ace 9, certainly a good hand for heads up. I'm going to call him. It's a min raise, it's heads up. This is interesting. He bets 120. There's no way that's getting me out of the pot. He bets it again. More than anything, I'd like to see what he's betting that with. So I'm going to fold here. Part of me is tempted to make a crazy all-in here. And I'm not sure, I'm not positive if that would be the wrong move. To me, that play almost looked like he missed a flush draw there. He was bank small, then a diamond does not fall, and he just all of a sudden bets really big. So I was tempted to make a play to him there, but I opted not to. I think a fold there is always the safer play. A call is pretty much out of the question. But that I didn't really like that betting pattern from him, so I was tempted to make a play against him, but I did not. Here we've got King Jack. He calls, flop misses us completely. But if we c-bet, it's 420. Hopefully we'll be able to take it down. And we do. Pocket tens, and I must say I'm getting surprisingly good starting hands here, although I haven't been able to do too much with them post-flop. Jack 10, another hand that I'll raise with for heads up play. He leads out there, I guess we'll let him take it, considering that we had Jack high there. For this video, I'm gonna avoid making just some crazy heads up plays. I'm gonna be playing like I was throughout the whole Single. I'll be playing fairly safe, just making calls with top pair and so on and so forth. Here we flopped 2 overcards and the nut flush draw, and I would not have a problem with calling a raise there, calling a bet there, you know, getting it all in right on that flop. Wow, we're on fire here. Pick up aces. He calls. in some ways this is a good board. I hope he gets sick of my continuation bets. Nope. Alright. One thing I don't like about that board is there's only one other ace in the deck, and it's very unlikely that he has it. Here we've got a flush draw. I think he'll bet out at this board. He does, and I'm going to call him down. Alright, so he didn't have a strong hand at all. We actually had 2 overcards. I'll call down there is really I snap called him on the turn. I have to let go of that. I snap called him on the turn because with the flush draw, if you make that call on the flop, you're basically alright, I'm gonna pause this thought and just try to. So he gets it in with second pair, no kicker. But what I was saying about the flush draw scenario was, once I call that bet on the flop, I really have to be prepared and willing to call the bet on the turn, because in my eyes that the turn bet was pretty much inevitable, and I just had to be ready to hope to make my flush by the river. I wasn't hoping to make it on the turn. I realized that it's equally likely to come on the river as it is to come on the turn, and because of that, you have to be prepared to make that call on the turn if you decide that you're going to chase your flush. And in that case, I was going to chase my flush. Here he bets 160, and he did this before. He bet small, small, and then big. This time I'm going to make a play at it. I want to raise a decent amount. He calls. I hit a pair. I think he's going to check here. He does. I'm going to commit myself to this pot right here. He could be on a draw. That's what I hope. He folds. So I think he might have been on a draw and some overs. And it is incredible the flow of cards we're getting. I'm just gonna bust it up to pot, hopefully get it all in here. And what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna make a weak bet, hopefully make it look like I'm going to attempt to induce a bluff, hopefully make it look like I'm weak. Alright, so I did induce a bluff. He's drawing to 3 outs. He misses, and that hand went over well for me, not for him. So what I did there was I bet, I think, 700 into like a 2200 pot or something, and that just looks like a weak bet. It's just under a third of the pot. He has to be thinking at his computer, okay, this guy, he's betting so small. Alright, I'm gonna call this. Yep, we're slightly ahead here. He hits a 4. We hit a 10 for the straight, and we win the game. And that's the conclusion of my my first 6-man $5 sit and go here at Full Tilt. I hope you guys learned something, and more videos should be coming soon. So have great luck at the tables, and I'll see you guys around. That's all.